empowerment. You had some ideas that you put out there for how they can increase the money coming in for their business, for the leagues, for the WNBA versus the NBA. What kind of feedback did you get from female athletes about that?
I got some good feedback from some female athletes. And I look forward to trying to help that in any way I can, because I think, like I said in my tweets, so many times, a lot. And I mean, maybe it's always been that way, but with social media, you just see more. And so I've seen so many complaints as of recent of women talking about the pay gap in between what we make and what they make. And I feel where they're coming from. Like, I know what I put in to this to be great. They put the same time in that we put in. So I understand what they're saying. But I'm also, and I was hoping people didn't take it the wrong way. Obviously, some people did, whatever. If you can't read what I said and understand, that's your personal business. But I'm really tired of seeing them complain about the lack of pay because they're doing themselves a disservice by just complaining, and
right. They're not just complaining.
Huh?
They're not just complaining, really.
But they are, because they're not laying out steps that they can take to change that. And so it's coming off as a complaint because the people that can change it, they're just going to continue to say, well, the revenue isn't there. The revenue isn't there. So if you don't bring in the revenue, we can't up your pay. They're going to keep using that. But the reality is, as true as that is, it's an excuse, because everyone says, we support women. We support women empowerment. We support women in the workplace. We do this for women. We do X for women, blah, blah, blah. And everyone uses it to their advantage. Yet these women are not using these people that are saying those very things to their advantage. So then it just becomes a complaint that falls on deaf ears, because they're going to use the same excuse of the revenue isn't there. Well, how about all of these people that are running these big time companies with these huge marketing dollars, these huge marketing budgets, put that money towards telling the story of Diana Taurasi. Like I said on Twitter, we know the story of LeBron James. We've heard it a million times. Do you think those stories don't help the connection between a fan and understanding that player? It does, but no one puts the money towards the marketing of women. So as great as Diana Taurasi is, you don't know her story because these companies don't put money towards marketing women. So then if they don't put money towards marketing women, the revenue never grows, and it falls on deaf ears, and it comes off as a complaint because no one's going to act on it. So if no one acts on it, and you keep saying the same thing over and over, it's going to come off as a complaint, as opposed to holding these people accountable that say, we support women. Women empowerment this. We're doing all of these things for Women Empowerment Month, but they don't put their money behind it. They put their mouths up, but they don't put their money behind it. So it comes off as a complaint, and you're taking me saying it comes off as a complaint in a negative way, as if I'm saying, stop complaining. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they're going to keep saying the same thing. If you keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to sound like you're complaining. When in fact, take that complaint and call out these people that say we support women empowerment. Why are they not putting this money towards growing this revenue and growing this business if you support women empowerment so much?
No, I think women are calling out the same thing you are. And I understand, I do understand the spirit in which you're speaking. Women have been saying this too. It's like, it's not the people with the money to tell these kind of stories, like to tell the story of DT. If ESPN wants to do that, they need to value women athletes more. It's kind of like, right? Yes, I know you agree with that. So it's putting your money where your mouth is, because you're right. It's a whole lot of talk, but it's the businesses are saying, the businesses, the media coverage, the gatekeepers here are like, well, we don't value women in the same way. So that's not a women's problem of complaints.
And what I'm saying to these women is stop allowing them to do that. Call these people out.
They
call them out specifically.
Have been for years.
Call them out specifically. Hey, this company say they support women empowerment, yet you have not put a single penny towards the WNBA. You have not put a single penny towards these women athletes, but yet plastered all over your website is women empowerment. Call these people out specifically. Make them react to what you're saying. If you call these people out and specifically, they have to react what you're saying, as opposed to just allowing them to plaster women empowerment all over their website.
What is going on, everybody? This is your boy, Man Up. I'm coming at you with one more video today. Draymond Green finally comes out and says exactly what us men are thinking about when women are talking about less pay, less endorsement, less everything. They don't get as much as men. Here's the thing. Us men never not supported women. We always supported women in what they're doing. But don't nobody want to hear, well, we don't get paid as much. What y'all don't understand, yeah, these NBA players might be signing $200 million contracts, but they're not getting nowhere near that money. They're not getting nowhere near that amount of money. What they are getting is their guaranteed money, which might be 70, 80 million. And then they're making a ton of money off their endorsements, their side businesses, whatever. That's how they're making their money. Now, I might play the video to what Draymond Green said before this video or after. I don't know if I'll play it or not. But anyway. But Hope Solo, who is a soccer player, comes out and defends Draymond Green. At the end of the day, stop complaining and do something about it. What y'all don't understand is these NBA players, yeah, they make a lot of money. But guess what? The NBA is endorsing their players. The WNBA is not really endorsing their players. NBA players are. And another thing is this here. I agree with Draymond. I'm not a Draymond Green fan. Nowhere near a Draymond Green fan. But I agree 100% with what he said in that video. This man said he's tired of women complaining that they don't get paid as much. If all these companies saying they support women's movement and stuff, make them prove it. There has been several guys, Shaq, Tracy McGrady, a bunch of people has come out and said, well, why don't you do the same exact thing that men do? Endorse yourself. Now, see, the only sport that really, women's sports that really is booming is tennis and soccer. That's the crazy thing. Tennis and soccer. And at the end of all this, what we are saying is this. These men, they endorse themselves. They have side hustles. They have side businesses because they know they're not going to make all that money with their contracts. They have so many stipulations. They're not going to get all that money. And then on top of that, the WNBA loses money every year. They're actually getting money from the NBA. That's how they're able to get paid. The men's sport is paying the women's sports. So Draymond Green said exactly what us men is talking about. Stop complaining and do something about it. And a woman that Draymond Green was talking about said they're not complaining. It is complaining. Once you keep on with the same old, it's going to come off as a complaint. Why don't you take a page out of the men's book and do it? Plain and simple. In a discussion. I mean, that's it. I mean, look, Nike, they support, Kobe, LeBron, Kevin Durant. You got Adidas with Tracy McGrady, James Harden. You got Under Armour with Stephen Curry. I mean, excuse me. I mean, it's ridiculous. Instead of complaining, do something. I'm just saying, do something. That's how it works. Nobody wants to sit back and hear that. That's why I tell people all the time, yeah, I watch women's sports, certain women's sports sometimes. But when it comes off as that you only trying to prove a point that you can do whatever the men can do, when you're only sitting here complaining all the damn time, then that's when it becomes less entertaining. Then that's when nobody's really going to support you. Nobody's going to support you. So at the end of all this, all I'm trying to say is this here. You see the blueprint that the men has laid out? Why don't you try that? Instead of whining and complaining for more money, why don't you go out there and get more money? I mean, plenty of people have thrown out options to make the WNBA better. Have some of the players to go to your local parks and play with the up and coming stars or something. You know what I'm saying? Endorse some of the whatever. I mean, there's a whole bunch of options out there because people do pay attention to the WNBA. I'm not gonna lie, my favorite team was the Houston Comets. I know right now that team has folded. Back, I think they folded in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. Or something like that, 2004, somewhere around there. They had won the very first 4 ever WNBA championships. They won the first 4 of them in a row. The team folded because they only had one sponsor, which was Mattress Mac. And they couldn't get any support and endorsements. They were leeching off of the Houston Rockets. So the team folded. And if you pay attention, a lot of the WNBA teams, they don't play in the same arenas as the NBA players. Some of them play in high school gyms, college gyms. It's like, you got to put in the work. And if you don't want to put in that work, shut up. I agree 100% with Draymond Green. Like I said, I'm going to try to see if I can put the video before I'm going to try to play the video before this, but I don't know. We'll see. If I don't, then go back and Google this here. The name of this article. Hope Solo defends Draymond Green over equal pay comment. And he ain't lying. It does come off as a complaint when you constantly saying the same thing over and over. It's not fair that we don't get paid as much. We play just as hard, and the women do play just as hard. They do. We've all said that. Nobody never, ever said that the women don't deserve it, the women can't play. Nobody never said none of that stuff. But y'all need to, if you want more money, you're gonna have to take a page out of the men's playbook and go and endorse yourself. That's how you make more money. You realize you're not getting the money from the WNBA themselves and your CBA. Look at what James Harden did. He got a huge contract from Adidas. A huge contract from Adidas. And then he's a 50% owner of the Houston soccer team. So this man already got himself lined up to have a nice, great retirement when he get ready to stop playing. And you know what James Harden be doing all the time? Guess what he does? He does a lot of commercials. He's on social media helping out people, like when the Texas flood happened, when that flood happened in Houston. Yeah, we know J.J. Watt was the main person out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. Look what J.J. Watt did. That's another thing. But I'm talking about the NBA because the WNBA players are complaining. But that's another thing. You put yourself out there. And you trust me, the money will come. It's not going to come overnight. It might take a couple of years. But you put yourself out there, it's going to happen. I mean, that's just plain and simple. For example, I want to say it was LeBron James' second year in the league, I think, when they came out with that movie about his past, his history. I forget the name of it, but when LeBron James were playing, and not was playing, but because he still is, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. You know what I'm trying to say. Look, all I'm saying is this here, man. At the end of the day, all this complaining is not going to help you. It's going to make things worse. It's going to make people not want to pay attention to you. Hell, put it like this. Draymond Green even said this. Women's talking about they would rather fight for other women's equal rights. Women don't even support other women. How many women versus the NBA and the WNBA, how many women only women have WNBA jerseys than NBA jerseys? Just saying. Something to think about. Now, I know you're going to say, I don't have to buy this. I don't have to. Yeah, you're right. You don't have to do nothing. But if you're complaining, do something. Do something about it. Stop all that damn whining and complaining. Nobody wants to hear all that. That old saying, actions speak louder than words. Make it happen. So with all that being said, I'm finna go ahead and end this video. This is your boy Man Up. I'm Chucking Deuce. I'll holler at you.